recording. That just sounded like you were doing a whippet. Not that I've ever done it. That's just what I imagine a whippet sounds like.
Yeah, I don't even know
Like
what that sounds
swallowing helium or something. Anyway, que lo que, papis? OGV episode 14, baby. We got Lex in the building. First and foremost, as always, I want to give a shout out to Stripe Golf Co. stripegolfco.com. Head to their website, grab yourself a legit hat. Let me get a little clearer picture there. Yep. Get that focus in. stripegolfco.com. Get yourself a hat. Follow their Instagram too. They got a good Instagram account. They're always posting stuff. They're grinding. They're hustling right now. So they're in the trenches just like us. And yeah, buy one of their hats. Buy one of their visors. They got a lot of good stuff. What do you got for us?
Stripe Golf Co, man. We've put you on the podcast blog for about 14 straight weeks now. I think it's I don't want to put you on blast, but I think my boy Razo is ready for a new piece of equipment. I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe that's too much pressure for them.
New piece of swag. That's really applying the pressure. I don't give a shit.
Hey, whatever. Anyway, my sponsor, Golf Degenerates, also want to mention that they're an Instagram page. I'm not sure if I mentioned that last time. They're a brand, an Instagram page. They post funny stuff. This past week, they were in a little cyber, I don't know what you'd call it. Little
bullying?
Cyber. No, but there was some cyber beef going on between them and another page where this other page seemed to be just harassing cart girls. Not really harassing them, but just like wasting their time. I don't know, just asking all of them for their numbers and stuff. And it's like, I mean, how many they must get that must get asked of them like every single day, all the time. So anyway, Michael and Golf Degenerates, they're took the side of the golf cart girls, and we love that. And that's the type of podcast and vlog that we are.
Anti-harassment. That is what the world should be. So Golf Course Degenerates, great spot as well. They actually, I really like that logo. That's some cool gear.
I'm loving this hat. I'm rocking this hat next time I go play golf.
You applied some pressure to Stripe Golf Co. I'm going to apply some pressure to Michael right now. Dude, come on. I'll wear it. I'll wear the stuff. Please. We got a very good show in store for the viewers and the listeners, because we're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now. So obviously the golf vlogs will be their own thing on YouTube, which they'll be coming out, once or twice a month. But we're also going to be in podcast form, drive up viewership. But you can also watch us if you want to see the visuals on YouTube as well. So we go both ways here. Pack show, it's major week, so we'll be getting into that. It's also College World Series preview time. It's one of the best times of year in all of sports. College World Series, Omaha, great city, great food, and it's just going to be an electric atmosphere. I'm so excited to watch. But first, it was a big anniversary. 3 years ago, I believe it was June 9th. So not on the exact day, but it is the 3-year anniversary of my National Anthem debut. And as you can see, there's Dave in the background there. Baby Dave. Oh, huh?
Little slip up. Forgot to shut my bathroom door. Sorry about that.
Dude, what if you think he's about to take a shit? How funny would that have been? He should have done that. That would have been great. This is Dave taking a dump.
It sounds like he's taking a pee.
Okay, number 1 for Dave. But anyway, 3-year anniversary of my National Anthem debut. I posted it on the OGV Instagram page. Follow it, OGV_golf. What are your thoughts on that? Because honestly, I blacked out during it.
Oh, obviously, I've got a bunch of questions for you.
Yeah, please. Okay, fire away.
So a little background. As much as my knowledge of it is, you are in extended spring training.
Correct, because
you're basically playing an inter squad against Mariners versus Mariners.
Yeah, it's a little scrim job.
Little scrim job. I'm guessing 0 fans.
Yeah, and fans were allowed. Just to be clear, I know we're kind of getting out of the pandemic era, but fans were allowed. There were just no fans in attendance.
Right. So anyway, I don't know how you got, that role of singing the national anthem, but I'm impressed. I mean, in front of any audience to get up there and sing, When you're not a singer, truly impressive. My question for you is, one, did you know the lyrics or did you have to read them off your phone? I mean, how you had to have known them, right?
I did know them, but I did pull them up on my phone just to be like completely 100% sure. I did not want to fuck it up.
That's
So
fair.
in extended spring training, you play against other teams. We played the Padres probably 150 times during extended just because we shared a facility with them, but we also, played the Royals, we played the Rangers because their facility were close by as well. That was the last day of extended spring training. So it
Okay.
was just an inter squad. Some guys needed to get their work in. We were about to head off. I was about to head off to Everett. But it was just kind of a fun day. It was, real loose. Guys were having fun. It was just playing some grab ass. And I floated around the idea of singing the national anthem. And, one of the coaches was like, hell yeah, why not? Sure enough, we had like a microphone there and I just gave it a whirl. My biggest thing was the charisma. Like you gotta have, it's not about the pipes. Yeah, if you kind of slip up on a note, that's a tough look. If your voice cracks, thankfully my voice didn't crack. It very well could have cracked. But my biggest thing was just pour your heart into this.
Yeah, I think if you ask for it and then you go up there and you're nervous and you can hear the trembling in your voice, that's no good. That makes nobody's comfortable at that point. Everyone just wants it to be over. But I mean, I don't know if you have the full video, but from the minute video that I've seen, I mean, you're all the way in. People are smiling, people are laughing, people are locked in that national anthem for basically no fans. They got, I mean, they're on the line, covering their heart, listening to you sing, and it's just to be a part of the moment. Is basically what it was.
Yeah, I had some people from like the major league side come up like a couple days later or something like that, just saying, "Hey, I saw the video, man. That was a great job." Yeah, it was.
Who came up to you?
The major league field coordinator, Carson Vitale. I'm actually trying to, I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I was trying to get him to just let me sing the national anthem at a Mariners game.
Oh my
Um,
God. I would
I,
I would pay to fly to Seattle and pay for my ticket at the game just to hear you sing the national anthem.
yeah, that would be really fun. But another interesting last part about this scrimmage, the scrim job was our pitching coach, Acevedo. I didn't know, this is why I got to go to the Dominican Republic and watch baseball games there. They're just talking. The announcer's just talking the whole time while the game's going on. So
Like over the PA system?
over the PA system, he's just announcing whatever's happening in the game, maybe adding his little spice and sizzle to it. And we have half our team, is American, and they're like, "What in the fuck is going on here? This guy is just speaking so fast in Spanish the whole time. Literally the entire, he didn't stop. It went on for, I think we played 6 or 7 innings of guys just getting working, and he just nonstop was speaking very fast. I thought it was awesome. I would love for that to happen. I could see how potentially some guys might get annoyed, like, "Hey buddy, I'm trying to like focus in on the next pitch here, and I got this guy just yelling over the PA system in a language I can't understand." So I don't know. How would you feel if someone was doing that?
I'd probably like that. I think that would relax me. I seem to, when there's less focus just on me, I do a lot better. So that would be good. Now,
Okay.
are you fluent in Spanish?
No,
But
no, and
you've taken many years of Spanish at Sarah High School and at UC Davis, though, correct?
I did. Found a way to somehow pass each year, but it wasn't easy. I mean, I can understand a little bit of Spanish here and there. I probably understand more Dominican Spanish than I do like real Spanish. And Dominican Spanish, for those that don't know, it's almost like it's pretty much like a made up language. Um, but it's awesome. I love the catchphrases. I love all the terms. They all just fire me up. They're oozing with charisma. That's kind of our word of the day here. With
Oozing or charisma?
charisma. Have you heard me? You haven't heard me say oozing one. That was
I didn't
the
know if you were
first
planning
time I've
on.
said.
I didn't
Just
know if you
start
were.
saying oozing.
Yeah. So I don't want to. I don't want to drag on too long here, but so you're not a fluent Spanish speaker,
No.
but the Mariners thought that you only spoke Spanish and made you take English classes. Is that correct?
That's great research. Way to tee that up. They did not make me take an English class, although, they have the English programs for, the players from Latin American countries. There's a bulletin board, it says the innings, your first strike percentage, all that good stuff. And then it says the English class, went the schedule for that. And I guess there was a big English test that day. And I go in the morning to check the board. And I just kind of, hey, English test today. I see my name. I see O. Razo. And like, what the fuck is this? So I'm eating in the cafeteria and I see, the director, whoever teaches the English class. And I'm like, hey, look, I'll take the English test. I'm going to pass with flying colors. I speak very well. I have a good vocabulary. I write pretty well as well. But I don't think you want me in the class. Like, I'm going to show up the class. They're all going to hate me if I just set the bar, especially if it's a curve test as well. If it's a curve test and I set the curve at 100%, then these guys are going to be livid. So I was like, I'll take the test, but just so you know, Orlando Razo is from the suburbs of the Bay Area.
Actually, I've almost graduated from UC Davis at this point. So right. probably don't need to take that English test, but
if anything, I should take a Spanish class. So,
oh God,
that's an excellent question. I'll probably post that clip. Because that is a funny story. Honestly.
I didn't even plan that. I totally remember that, and I was like, I remember you texting us that and just being like, that is all time hilarious.
Yeah, I know. All of my friends
racist.
All my friends in the organization too were just fucking howling, laughing. They were like asking me the next day how I did on the English test. It was great. Hell of an opener. We have College World Series coming up. Both of us went 2 for 3 on our picks. Omaha, let's just start with Omaha in general. I know we kind of brushed up on Omaha before. I don't know how much you remember from the trip. I remember like all the cool spots that we went to. Do not remember a single name of a restaurant. I know one of the places we had lost by, I don't know what we lost by. We lost. And I just remember Blaze asking for whatever beer that had the most alcohol content in it. And it was like a good steakhouse. There were some good dessert places. Do you remember any of those names that we can give out? Chicken and waffle place was good too.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the names. I remember being there at that big table after we had led game 2 for the majority of the game. And then they hit like a tie game home run or something, and then of course we blew it in the 9th or something, so no one was very happy. But I mean, we went in like mid-March or end of March or something, so like you can't imagine Omaha is very crowded in late March. But I mean, it was a great city. There were a lot of good restaurants. There's actually a decent amount of people in downtown Omaha. I can only imagine what it's like during the College World Series.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be super lit. 2 out of 3 on our picks. Arkansas kind of fucked us. NC State, shout out to them, man. They play really good baseball. I don't know how much of that series you watched, but they play good baseball. That's what wins at this time of year, is pitching well and playing catch.
Yeah, I watched the last game of that series, and I mean, Arkansas, I think they made the right call. They started, I don't know, I forgot what his name is, but I didn't realize the year that he had, and he's probably a Golden Spikes finalist. He was kind of a reliever closer for them, but
yeah, Cops. He's going to be the Golden Spikes winner. He had an unbelievable season.
So what do you have? Like a 0.6 ERA through like 33 appearances or something, and like most of those are like multi-inning. So anyway, they run him out there. He gives up 2 runs and finally gives up that solo jack, and they end up losing 3-2. But I mean, that's it. You just got to be clean and sound enough to stay in ball games, because all these games in the Super Regionals and College World Series, they always come down to the end. I feel like there always are some late game dramatics. And
who's going to make the mistake?
That's totally true. I think you could look back on the Oregon State year that they won the championship. They were playing Arkansas, came down to a drop pop up. Oregon State had a base hit and a home run to win that game, and came back and won game 3. All they had to do was catch a pop up. One mistake in the entire series. So I completely agree with you.
So we'll break it down with the, I guess, favorites. I have favorite players, down on here, and then we'll get to our picks. As far
Sure.
as favorite, Vandy's the favorite, and I guess we can just start with them. Similar to, I just think this applies to all baseball. If you have two aces, that's the trump card. That's the ace in the hole right there. Two aces that's how the Nats won the World Series. That's how the Giants won their World Series. The Royals having their bullpen was like an anomaly because bullpen is just so unpredictable year to year. But if you have two aces and they have you could just say they're the two best pitchers in the country.
Yep.
If you have the two best pitchers in the country, that's going to put you in position to make it to the finals at least.
I think when basically you can come out of the bracket, all you have to do is win 3 straight, and you have the two best pitchers. It puts you in a pretty good spot to come out and be the winner of your side of the College World Series bracket. And then if you're in the end, it's just a best 2 out of 3. And if you have the two best pitchers, it really puts you in a good spot. So it'd be hard to bet against them. Although I do like a bunch of the other teams though too.
Right. And I believe I love Texas too. They got two guys. I mean, most of the teams in this pretty much have two guys. It's just they have Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker.
Right.
Like Texas has Pete Hansen and Ty Madden. Stanford has two guys that are pitching better than anyone in the country, just as good as anyone in the country right now. Alex Williams, who's a dog, and then Beck is, his resume speaks for itself. But what are our thoughts on Arizona here? Like, because their team ERA and their pitching staff is scrappy, they're gritty, but like, can an offense like that carry you to a title?
So we talked about them in the regionals. We kind of made a prediction for the super regionals, and it held true. I mean, they handled Ole Miss pretty well. I think the game they lost was pretty close, that Saturday game. But then I watched that Sunday game, and they just dismantled them. They just dismantled Ole Miss, and I mean, that's one of the best teams in the country. Like we've said, their offense is just relentless, and they wear you down. I think one of the innings, the fourth inning, I couldn't believe that I was still watching the fourth inning after like having gone to the bathroom and made some food, and they had just like gone through 2 pitchers and were working counts at 3-2, and then just would hit an oppo ball off the wall or single out the opposite way. So I'm a big fan of Arizona. I think their offense can carry them. I have that written down as one of my favorite players is just the Arizona offense.
Especially if they get into, let's say, the losers bracket and they're facing the 6th pitcher of a team, the 5th pitcher of a team. Like, that's where Arizona is going to thrive, and they're just going to eat you alive once they get into, the depth of whatever bullpen you have, whatever starting pitching you may have left. Arizona is going to win those games just because their offense is that good, and they're going to dismantle you, frankly.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. But if they can just get to the bullpen or keep those, initial games tight when they're facing the best pitchers, I mean, they're going to win any game where you get into the 3rd or 4th starter, or you get into their bullpen a little deeper out of their, past their first couple guys. I mean, I agree. They're going to win those games for sure.
Right. All right. I'm looking at the odds right now. Just give me 1 sec. Any other teams that you like? Tennessee, man, that's another
that was
team.
I had Tennessee offense written down, U of A offense written down. Tennessee, man, that place was an absolute bang box during the super regionals. They had like 7 or 8 jacks in that game. I mean, the field's not going to play as small. TD Ameritrade's going to play bigger than Tennessee Stadium for sure. I guess we'll just see if they have the power to drive into the gaps and hit it out of there. I think that's going to be their main thing. If they just if they hit it in the air, is it going to go out?
Right. That's the big thing with teams especially a team like Mississippi State. Like, I feel,
a bang box.
Dude, that field looks so small. Like, obviously it looks
350 in the gaps.
Obviously it looks, like maybe top 2 atmosphere in the country.
Oh yeah.
But my God, are those guys, like, you have some of the big. Mississippi State has a guy that is 6'5", 250 pounds.
He's a tight end.
A tight end for the football team, and he plays left field. So that means that he may not even be the most athletic guy in that outfield. It's absolutely absurd. They're plus 650. Virginia's plus 1,000. Virginia, Dallas Baptist, I watched a lot of that. That was a great super regional. I just don't think either of those teams have the hosses to withstand like a long Omaha run.
Even in the games where it was tight, like the pitching was good, but it wasn't at the same level as I was seeing from the other games. Like the pitchers were scrappy. They were walking guys, they were getting out of jams, but like they weren't dominating. I don't think you get away with that with these teams. They could easily, I mean, you can have a good run and easily win the College World Series, but I wouldn't bet on Virginia or I mean, Dallas Baptist isn't in it, but either of those teams I wouldn't have bet on them.
Yeah. NC State's at plus 1,200. That's a team, they just, once again, they put together really good quality at bats, and they can sneaky hit the ball very hard. And their pitching is starting kind of like Stanford. Their pitching starting to come together like late in the season. I remember you sent me their record. What was it at the beginning of the year? They didn't start off well, did
They
they?
started off like 6-9, 7-9, something like that.
Nice.
Why did I know you're going to say that? But yeah, I mean, I sent you that post, and after the first 15, 20 games, Virginia and NC State were like bottom two in each of their sides of the ACC. Notre Dame was also at the bottom, and the teams at the top, a lot of them didn't make regionals or didn't come out of the regional. So
yeah,
pretty
Clemson.
impressive.
Texas, haven't touched on them yet. Texas is going to be a tough out, man. They're what you call a complete team. They swing it. They pitch the ball very well. They have very, very cool jerseys. Yeah, they do everything very well. They're going to be a very tough out.
Yeah, I honestly don't know much about Texas for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just what channel they were on or what time they were playing. I just
the Longhorn Network. You don't get that one?
Yeah, I just didn't see much of a Texas baseball. The only other thing I wanted to say was some pretty classic teams, like some pretty classic college baseball teams.
Oh, Blue Bloods.
In the College World Series, you always hear about these teams, but then they're like, oh, they haven't been here since 2005 or 2008 or whatever. And you're like, all right, cool. And you're seeing Texas, Stanford, U of A, Vandy, like all these teams that you hear about as college baseball powerhouses. They're in the College World Series, so that's pretty cool for me.
Yeah, I really like it. I also, I mean, just some awesome jerseys. You got Vandy's. As long as they don't wear those Army ones, that's okay. Texas, great jerseys, great colors. Tennessee, phenomenal jerseys, phenomenal colors. Arizona, the Arizona Reds, I'm a huge fan of.
Candy apple red, baby.
Yeah. You know, and then the pinstripes. You know, you can never go wrong with pinstripes, I don't think.
No.
Mississippi State's got the classic. I love that classic V-neck. It honestly reminds me, and this is not an insult by any means, reminds me of some Highlanders Redwood City Little League jerseys. Just some classic writing right there. Stanford, obviously, they got Stanford's black jerseys. Did you see what Brendan Beck said?
What's the exact quote?
He said, I don't know the exact quote verbatim, but he said he wanted to wear black because it was going to be Texas Tech's funeral.
That's right. I mean, we got teams that aren't, don't really have black in their school colors. I guess Vandy does, but we have some all black uniforms. Mississippi State, Stanford, Vandy. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. How do you feel about both of those teams playing each other, both wearing black uniforms?
Is that legal?
I'm sure it's not.
Can they?
That's like when you show up to a tournament. That would happen every once in a while when you show up to like a 12U tournament. You'd already have your jersey that you chose for that day, and then the other team would be wearing the same color, and then you guys are just playing against each other in the same color.
Yeah, I mean, baseball's the sport that you can do that in, because it's not like
it's
basketball.
Hard to mess up.
Right. It's not like It's like, you can't. I don't know how you can even fuck that up. Honestly, I don't know how you can fuck that up. I fired
the ball between the first and second baseman because I thought that's where my first baseman was playing.
Yeah, I thought the runner was the shortstop, so I flipped him the ball for a double play. Like, oh, he had a helmet on, idiot.
Yeah.
So I that'd be hard to fuck up.
It won't happen though.
All right. Who are your picks? Who is your pick to hoist I don't know what the trophy is called. We'll just call it the
What does it even look
college.
like?
It says college. It is, I don't know. It's a fucking trophy.
Shoot. All right. I'm going to look at the bracket because that has something to do with it real quick.
I already have my pick.
So basically, for anyone that doesn't understand college baseball and how the College World Series works, there's 2 sides of 4, and each one acts as kind of like its own regional. So you have to be the winner out of those 4 teams, come out of that bracket, and then those 2 winners play in a 2 of 3 series for the championship. I'm right. That's how it goes, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So when you start, you're really only playing 3 other teams. You don't have an opportunity to play those other 4. So that has something to do with it. God, that left side is tough. So it's NC State.
It sucks that Stanford's on the same side as Arizona.
I know. It is cool though that Vandy and Tennessee could be in the championship.
Yeah.
So one side is NC State, Stanford, Arizona, Vandy. The other side is Texas, Mississippi State, Virginia, Tennessee. So I'd say, all right, my picks are going to be Vandy and Tennessee in the make it through their brackets to the championship, and I'm going to say Tennessee wins it all.
I like the Tennessee pick. I just have a winner. I'm going with the trees, baby. I'm going with the hometown trees. Love the trees. Smoke the trees. Stanford guy through and through. Other than UC Davis.
Yep.
They're clicking at the right time. I mean, obviously this is week to week thing, but they're confident. They got this swagger right now, man. And when you have a team that is clicking at the right time, you truly believe that there's no one that can beat you. I remember there was a stretch at Davis where we beat Santa Barbara the year they went to the College World Series. We rattled off like 7 straight wins. We were like, what in the fuck is going on here? But we're just kicking the shit out of teams. That's kind of how Stanford is right now, obviously to a much better degree. But once again, they have 2 pitchers that can go up against any lineup at any time and shut them down. And that offense is extremely potent. So
love the pick. I would love to see a Stanford. I would love to see a Stanford championship. Yeah, I'm all in on that pick as well.
But seriously, if you get a chance, watch the College World Series. There's nothing like it. College baseball is the best sport. And I'm just fucking stoked that it's getting a lot of play this year.
Completely agree. It's truly electric. I think people just don't really know what's going on. But now if you listen to us, you know a little bit more. So check it out. I think it starts on the 19th. So on Friday or Saturday, and it goes for
today's
like a week
the 16th.
And a half. So it starts on Saturday, I think, and Saturday. It goes for I think a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It might even finish in July. I'm not sure.
I don't think it finishes in July.
Well,
that would be a long ass college.
Well, they got to get through the regional, which takes them like 5 or 6 days. And then I think they get a day off, and then they play the 2 out of 3 series. So maybe it's a week and a half.
God, that would be so long. Just like a month long.
They're there for a long time. If you win the whole thing, you got another 10 games or so. You
get amongst the city. You could literally try so many good food spots there.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Before we get into the U.S. Open, NBA playoffs, a couple notes here on the Suns. They got to be the favorite to win the title right now, simply because Suns and 4 guy. Before we get into Suns and 4 guy, little sabermetrics. 67 and 23 since all the Suns got sucked. Since that one, OnlyFans, I don't know what, respect to her, honestly, for getting her hustle on. She's probably making a lot of money. 67 and 23 since that interview where she said she blew all the Suns. Obviously, something clicked with that team, and now they're essentially the favorite for the title, as long as Chris Paul can play.
Right. It couldn't have been the Suns adding Chris Paul. It had to be. I don't know much about this woman and her interview, but we know what she did and we know what the Suns have done. So hey, let's give her credit.
She deserves a lot. She might deserve a ring, honestly. If
she'll definitely be in the parade, I bet you they put her in the parade or something.
That would be wild.
Someone will feature something that when that happens.
You know who else is going to be in the parade?
Uh, uh, uh,
Suns and Four guy.
oh yeah, you're
Suns
right.
and Four.
Should have known
And
that.
I don't know how you didn't put 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah,
Suns and
my bad.
Four guy. That's one of the most. It's exactly what we missed about fans at sporting events is just this sheer raw, authentic fan fight. And credit to him because he could have killed him. This was a 10-second first round TKO. Like the ref is right. He's breaking that up. He's getting in the middle of it. And credit to this guy for showing restraint because he probably could have killed both the guy, the Nuggets fan and his friend. If you're the Nuggets, I don't know how you bounce back from that fight. Their fans look like assholes and they look weak mentally and physically. But this guy, man, and this is kind of why I was going to wear like an undershirt, kind of doing this in honor of him, because this guy is now also doing all these interviews, and he's just going the same, just no shirt under. He went no shirt at the game. Um, you have any notes on this gentleman? I don't know his name.
To be completely honest here, I haven't even seen the video. So this is I like know about the Suns and Four guy. I've seen it all over Twitter, but I haven't seen the video. I don't really know what happens.
The Nuggets fan tries to pick a fight with him, cheap shots him, and then after the cheap shot, this Suns and Four guy beats his ass, just demolishes him. That's why I said it was a TKO in 10 seconds.
And then
He's
he taunts him
essentially,
with Suns and Four.
well, he's holding the one guy as his prisoner, like just kind of as a hostage, and he's yelling at his friend. And that's when he says Suns and Four with the guy in like a little bully, like a high school bully headlock, and just yelling Suns and Four at him. So that's what we
epic.
missed. That's what we missed about fans. Like that is exactly why. Like that's such a big element of sports.
Oh, huge element. I'm glad you explained that. I'm gonna watch that video right after this.
You got any other notes on the NBA? I saw LeBron tried to say he told us all because of Kawhi Leonard's unfortunate injury. So credit to LeBron once again. He's always right.
Yeah, it's always about LeBron. Doesn't matter if it's his team, doesn't matter if he's playing, doesn't matter if it's his sport, doesn't matter if it's his food or if his wine or if his kid is playing. He's going to find a way to make it about him. He's going to thank himself. He's going to thank his, past self, his future self, his cartoon self. LeBron's going to make sure that everyone knows, that it's about LeBron. And that's what I love about LeBron. Just kidding. Fuck that guy. Anyway, that's enough on LeBron. So I think last week I said Suns Nets. I think we might have agreed Suns Nets championship is what we're looking at. Nets are up 3-2. They play tomorrow, so we'll see if that sounds like is James Harden. He's going to be all right and he's going to play.
Yeah, he was a little rusty yesterday. KD is just fucking absurd.
He's the man. KD's better than LeBron.
Yeah, I think it's KD and then Kawhi. Well, Kawhi, unfortunate, but like it's KD now.
Yeah. And my one other note was CP3 out indefinitely. I'm not sure if I have this correct, but basically it sounds like they won the last series. He goes up to the stands to hug his family and now it's not because he tested positive for COVID. It's because he broke protocol, which is going to make contact with fans. And now he's just out.
Is that real?
I think don't hold me to that. We might need to fact check that one, but I think that's why.
Because I have no idea.
I saw another video, and I don't know the player, but he was going to high five a fan on the way out of into the tunnel,
right?
And one of the team assistants sprinted over and blocked the high five
because took the bullet
because he knew that if that was on video and they caught that he made contact with a fan, that he could be put into the COVID protocol. So I pretty much think that's what happened with Chris Paul, and that's why he's out.
I want to see more of that. Just these team officials just putting their body on the line.
Just diving into the crowd.
Yeah.
But that's all the only other thing I have. I mean, it would be a real shame if CP3 can't play, but I think, God, what's the series? What's the other series for the Western Conference Finals?
Jazz Clippers.
Jazz Clippers. They're 2-2, I think, right now. So
Yeah, they're playing right
they're
now.
playing.
Like
so
as
we
we're
have
recording this.
at least one more game after tonight.
Let's look.
So maybe he'll be out of it. But
Clippers
again,
are up
LeBron
110,
James.
103.
LeBron James breaking protocol earlier in the playoffs, goes out to a club with Drake. Honestly, sick. Love Drake, but no repercussions.
Probably a good time.
Yeah, probably a great time. Whatever, no problem with it, but no penalty. Chris Paul goes into the stands to hug his own family after a series win. Immediately on COVID protocol. It's not even LeBron's fault, but fuck LeBron.
It's LeBron's world, and we're all just living in it.
Yep, that was it for me about the NBA.
I have no other thoughts, but I was on the fence about who to root for. Sixers, because I like JoJo and Ben. But I don't see how I can't root for the Suns after that guy's performance in that fight.
How you can't not root for the Suns?
Can't not root for the Suns, correct. Thank you.
Yep, just wanted to clear that up.
We have a golf major.
Yes, we do. That's what we're supposed to be about, right? The big golf vlog and podcast.
We are a gigantic golf vlog and podcast. Happy we're getting to that, 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
US Open, Torrey Pines. First note, did you know that it's like $40? I don't know if we talked about this last time. $40 to golf Torrey Pines if you're a San Diego resident. So I'm considering getting a fake ID. So that way I can just drive to San Diego and golf at Torrey Pines for $40. So if you're a listener out there, knows a fake ID guy, hit me up because I'm in the market.
I think it's not like that expensive to play as just a person in the public either.
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure it's very
I'm
expensive.
gonna look that up.
And I don't think you can get tee times for a long time. Like you probably have to book a tee time for, I don't know, August, September right now. It's probably when the next one is.
Yeah, I gotta shoot. I was talking to Hamby about this because Hamby's in San Diego. He's in San Diego.
Is he going to the tournament?
I don't know. I should ask him about that. We should get him on the show and ask him. He's a golf guy. Yeah, you never know with Hamby. You never know. Shout out Hamby. Love him. One of my best friends. But you never know, man. He might. I don't know what he told me, how much it costs, but we're gonna have to fact check him and thus
everything with
myself.
a grain of salt. Absolutely. Yep. But Torrey Pines, it's a legendary course. What was it? The last time was when Tiger won it, right? In 08. That was the last time a US Open was there. Yes, it was. We're going to say that.
Yeah, I can't confirm that.
One of the longest courses, just a straight up absolute behemoth of a distance course.
What's it playing?
Long.
Longer than what they had the PGA at?
No, it's not going to be Kiowa. But I mean, it's a US Open, so they're going to grow the rough. They widen the fairways a little bit, but they grew the rough out. California rough sucks, so we already know that. And I believe there's like 4 par 4s that are over 500.
Yeah.
So the distance guys, I mean, everyone kind of hits it far on tour now, so that's not like a huge thing. But yeah, I mean, I think Brian Harmon, let's say, he's gonna fucking struggle here this weekend because he doesn't drive it very far.
Can I ask you a quick question? You might know this because you're a golf guy through and through. You're working at a golf course. When they widen the fairway, is the grass just the same? Like, is this the same grass in the fairway and the rough, and they just cut it at different levels, or are they planting different types of grass for the rough or for the fairway?
See, that type of golf guy, I'm not the guy to ask, just because I'm a swing mechanics, I'm a mentality guy. Any sort of thing, if you were to ask me, is this, Bermuda, or I honestly don't even know any other type of grass. I just know Bermuda.
Same.
I have no fucking clue what type of grass is grown. I know that it's long. I know that the rough is very difficult. but I have no idea if it's the same grass. I do know that courses, have different types of grass. I do know that actually, but I have no idea what Torrey's doing as far as the grass goes, other than they're growing out the rough, they widen the fairways a little bit, and there's a lot of it's going to favor the guys that hit a cut or a fade, which is a lot of them, because there's a lot of dog legs that run in that direction.
Got
So
it.
I was listening to an interview with Finau, and that's why a lot of those guys that do that play really well at Torrey. So you look at Rahm, Finau's played really well at Torrey Pines. Reed obviously won earlier this year. So those guys, like, I didn't think much of it when I first started watching golf. Oh, this guy plays this course. Like, who gives a fuck? It's like, no, that actually makes a big difference. The comfortability aspect and the way it can kind of fit your shot shape. That's a huge thing. So it's gonna favor the cut and fade guys.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really. I did a little research on just the favorites, and one of the reason, for example, Xander Schauffele is he's obviously a good golfer, but maybe not someone that I would automatically place in the top 5 or 6 in terms of betting odds. I didn't realize that he grew up in San Diego and played this course his whole life, and then he went to San Diego State and continued to play the course. And I think that's got to be a huge factor, into why he's one of the favorites this weekend.
You didn't know Schauffele's a San Diego guy?
No, I don't know a ton about like all these golfers' backgrounds except for the really like big guys. So I'm learning as we go.
Where did Gary Woodland go to school?
Oh, well, I know he was a basketball player. Are you asking me to quiz me, or are you asking me because you want to know?
No, I know. I know where pretty much all, like, I'm a big where did he go to college guy.
Oh
So
God,
I know where.
East Coast, right?
No coast.
So he's not. I would have guessed Coastal Carolina.
No, that's DJ.
Dustin Johnson. All right, yeah, I don't know.
It rhymes with cock. Like the that came out bad. The slogan rhymes with cock.
Oh, Kansas?
Yeah.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk?
Yeah. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was good. That was quick. Quick on your feet. Gary's another one. He's like low key been playing pretty well lately, and he said he really likes Torrey Pines a lot. Plays his little stinger, fade, whatever you want to call it. Just hit the ball really fucking hard. I like Gary Woodland a lot. I like Finau a lot. This is, I guess, it's weird because in tournaments and in majors, it's just the same. Golf is not that hard to analyze, I don't think, because it's just, the guy that strikes the ball best is going to score the best. No fucking shit. It's like, the guy that's best around the greens, he's going to do really well. You don't say. The guy that gets the ball really close to the hole and puts himself in position to make good putts is going to place well in the tournament. That's
right.
Shocker.
There's no way to be like scrappy and you can't be like, oh, the offense sucked, but the bullpen came in and saved us. Like, yeah, I hit the ball out of bounds all day and saved a bunch of pars and bogeys. Like, all right, dude, you're probably not scoring that well that weekend.
Yeah, you're probably missing. You're probably coming in last. Like,
yeah, you're probably not making the cut, buddy.
There's no way around it in golf. So that's why whenever they're like, the best ball striker is going to win it. Thanks a lot for that one. Sleepers, let's start with that. Who do you got as your kind of under the radar guy?
I have a couple of these. These are kind of picks that I'm hoping do well. Just anyway, I gotta look up this guy's name one more time. I don't even know.
You want me to go with mine? I have two.
Go with yours first, and I'll chime in after.
Okay. Shout out Garrick Higo, by the way. Phenomenal swing. He won last weekend in South Carolina. I forgot what tournament it was called. He was a Corn Ferry guy, kind of a grinder. South African young guys on the map. And you look at some of his scores on the Corn Ferry Tour, absurd. He's also a lefty. I'm not saying he's one of my picks, but hey, he could be. I have who we just said, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Gary Woodland. I guess he's a sleeper, but he's won the U.S. Open before. And then shocker, who do you think else I'm going to pick? Abe.
Answer.
Honest Abe. Honest
Yeah.
Abe answer. It's only a matter of time. He's going to break through at some point.
It makes sense for a guy that loves ball striking as much as you do. You pick the ball striker, and that's the answer. What did I want to say about that? A couple side notes. We do a little draft for every major. Razo continues to pick the same guys over and over and over again. This time he got John from Scottsdale, got Answer. I don't think he got Neiman, but he got like Lanto Griffin, Max Homa. He got his guys. You know, he always gets the same guys. So when those guys go off, he's going to be a rich man.
I have a group of, those are through and through. It's, you start out with the Latinos and then you go to, the honorary Latinos. I consider Max Homa, he's a citizen of the world.
Okay. Yep. All right. My two sleeper picks, they're not like that logical, but I still have some reasoning behind them. Lee Westwood, he's actually one of my picks in our draft. He got married last weekend in Vegas. So he
Where
actually
do you think he got married?
And like
Encore?
you would think if he
Club?
got married, I don't know. You think if he got married, like it'd be like a nice place. Or what if he's just ripping like a
just on a bender?
Yeah, just a crazy club, just gambling all weekend. He actually played really well to start this year. He's kind of fallen off, but dude, he's going to be amped up. He's going to have his wife out there who's been his
probably
caddy.
coming off some sex.
You could bet on that.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's like continuing to be his caddy. I don't know enough about him, but she has caddied for him through COVID a little bit. So he's one of my picks this weekend. All right, then I got this other guy, Wilco Nian. Do you know how to say his last name? Nianaber.
Oh yeah, the long hitter.
Yeah, this guy pulverizes
another South African.
Oh, he's a South African. All right, so
Yeah.
This guy pulverizes the ball. I don't know how many tournaments he's played and where he's played at this year, but his driving average is like 360 yards or something ridiculous.
Bro, my brother was telling me that he was watching a Corn Ferry event last year and he hit a 425-yard drive. What the fuck?
I read when I was going through some stuff that they were talking about one that was 439. Could have been the same drive, but I honestly didn't know about this guy until a couple hours ago. And our friend Kurt Woods, shout out Kurt Woods, picked him, in the fourth or fifth round or whatever. And we have six
he picked
picks.
him in the fourth round.
Yeah, he picked him before anyone else. He wanted him. And I was like, dude, who is that guy? And he's like, go look him up on Instagram. Guy hits bombs. And I was like, all right, I'll go look him up. And truly the guy hits bombs.
That's a classic Mike Mayock move right there. Just go get your guy.
Get your guy. And so I'm a Lee Westwood, and then I gotta get this guy's last name right, but a Nianaber guy.
I don't know if that doesn't sound right.
Nianabar?
Nianabar.
It's Nienaber.
That is a tough.
There's a lot of
pronunciation.
I should just first name Wilco. We'll go with Wilco.
Yeah, Wilco.
Sick name.
Dub.
Anyway, that's what I got. I had a couple interesting guys in there. Wanted to sprinkle those in, but those are my sleepers.
All right. Let's get to our picks. Give me two or three if you have three.
All right. Well, I gotta take. All right, you go first. I don't want to take your guys. Go for it.
John from Scottsdale.
I was gonna. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Fucking brainer. Guy's coming off. He's gonna set a course record. We beat that into the ground. He's mad. You don't want to make Rombo mad.
That's what they say.
They've been saying that for years. You don't make
Rombo mad. Don't wake the Rombo.
Don't wake the Rombo. And he's been actually awoken by whatever the COVID protocol was.
Probably doesn't sleep that much either because he's got a new kid, so he's just awake all the time.
Right. Kepa has been keeping him up. So what do you do when you can't sleep? The guy's probably been in the lab working while everyone else is sleeping, working with that TrackMan. So I'm taking Rombo. John from Scottsdale. He's going to be on a mission. He hasn't won a major yet either, so it's a good time for him to lose his virginity this weekend at Torrey.
Yep.
And second one, Jordan from Dallas. Jordan from Dallas. He was going to be my if John from Scottsdale was not going to be available. Thankfully, I had the second pick in the draft. But if he was not going to be available, Jordan from Dallas was number two on Belichick's big board. And I just, if he can be even decent off the tee, he's the best. He's been the best golfer all year. He's been the best player in the world this year. And if he can be somewhat decent off the tee, then he's going to demolish this course. I'm not going to say demolish the course, but he's going to be right there on Sunday.
I like your picks. I'm going to take Brooks and Bryson. My 2 picks are Brooks and Bryson. I think they're just going to absolutely feed off each other. I think they're going to be in the top all weekend. I think they're going to take it personal. They're just going to have their blinders on, just focused on the other guy, and they're going to, look at the leaderboard on Saturday, and it's going to be Brooks and Bryson, and no one else is even going to be close. I saw something that the U.S. Open reached out to Bryson to see what his thoughts were on a pairing with Brooks. As you can guess, that got shut down. No way. Wasn't going to happen. So the beef is serious. We talked about it last week. Is it real or is it fake? Turns out the beef is probably serious. And I mean, Brooks, any major,
he's there.
He's there. I mean, he takes it to another level. He's found a way to do it, and he does it consistently. So I'm going to take Brooks. And Bryson, again, he's been pretty good. I just can't trust the guy to put four solid rounds together. But he hits the hell out of the ball. So I'm gonna give him a shot. Brooks and Bryson.
I really love those picks, especially that means that they'd be hopefully paired together on a Sunday.
Oh, that would be
epic.
I mean, the TV ratings on that would be
unbelievable.
Extreme if Brooks and Bryson were paired on the last day after all this shit that's happened.
I mean, you think about what type of Sunday we could be, shaping up for, like what we could be in store for. We got College World Series, we got US Open, we got NBA playoffs. The fucking San Francisco Giants are unbelievably good. Like Oakland A's are not unbelievably good, not as good as Giants, but they're really, really, really good. I might have to buy. I have 2 TVs. I might have to set up 6 TVs, just to catch all the action on Sunday.
Yeah,
I love those picks.
Yeah, where's the Octobox? Like, they have Octobox for Red Zone, but where's the Octobox for like multiple sports when you just want that Vegas, 6 sports on your screen at one time? There's got to be a channel. Someone's got to come up with that.
Of sports.
ESPN 5, ESPN 5, the Bukkake. All right,
just everything. Give me everything
to turn on. Just turn on the Bukkake.
Yeah, bro. Hey, turn on the. Oh my God, ESPN Bukkake.
Anyway, good idea. If anyone, any ESPN,
any producers want to reach out to us, and we'll talk some Bukkake.
Yeah. Anyway, that'd be sick. But yeah, go ahead and buy few more TVs. TVs are the one thing that are getting cheaper in this world. Everything else is getting more expensive. TVs are getting cheaper.
Dippin' Dots, more expensive. TVs cheaper.
Yeah, that's Econ 101 from Orlando. Dippin' Dots, more expensive. TVs, less expensive.
All right, another last one. Finau. I think actually, I know Finau gets a lot of shit. I don't know why. I've just watched a lot of interviews with him the past few days. He seems very calm and very confident. I know all these guys seem that. Bryson seems a little ADD, which that's par for the course with him. But Finau just has this calm and collectiveness. Don't be surprised if he pulls it off too and loses his major virginity.
He's in a. Are you saying he's in a good headspace?
He's in a great headspace. He's at peace. Mind, body, spirit, everything's in sync right now.
Good. All right, that's great to know. Wish they'd post those type of things, when you're reading up on the guys going into the major. What type of
that would be? That's what I'm saying. I should come up with these headlines: mind, body, spirit, Finau ready.
That'd be funny as hell if you took the top 10 guys and you just like gave them a grade on what their headspace is going into a major. That'd be
graded
hilarious.
Their interviews. Like, I don't know, Jordan was sweating a lot. Like, it's like, bro, he has a bad. Like, they would probably, because I'm a sweater, so they'd be like, yeah, Orlando is a nervous fucking wreck right now. Guy's just sweating a lot. His pit stains were very visible. Meanwhile, I'm just plotting.
Yep. Good to know that about you. Good to know about what type of headspace you're in.
Thank you. I'm in a pretty good one right now. Decompression. Decompression, we have a really, really good session for you here. It's not going to be too long because it doesn't need to be too long. We don't need to jam it down your throats. I just have a couple proposals, how we can, well, I'm just going to give my thoughts on the sticky stuff of baseball. Sticky stuff of baseball, everyone's talking about it. Tyler Glasnow tore his UCL, which fucking sucks because he
Oh,
might.
damn it. So that came out officially.
Yeah, he's either he thinks he can rehab it. It sucks. I mean, Tanaka pitched what seems like a half decade with a torn UCL, so maybe it could happen. More than likely, probably heading for TJ at some point, which it fucking sucks. There's no other way to put it. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemies. But he said he was gripping the ball too hard. The sticky stuff just came out of nowhere, aka came out of nowhere to someone that doesn't even pay attention to baseball or know a baseball player. Is that fair?
All right, sorry, are you asking me or what are you
Is that
saying?
fair? Like that whoever didn't know that the sticky stuff was like a thing and
Oh yeah.
was totally normal, just didn't know a baseball player or just didn't pay attention to baseball.
Yeah, you gotta not know, you gotta not understand baseball to blow it up as much as it's been blown up.
Everyone used it. Literally, I was in a professional locker room. There was not one, and maybe a few pitchers here and there that didn't like. I'm not saying I liked it. It was more. I'm a kind of a peer pressure guy, so I would kind of put a little bit of Pelican grip here and there. College, I want a little pine tar on the belt. You know, you play it cool, because I'm not a fucking narc. So you play it cool, put a little finger on the belt, you get a better grip with the pine tar there. But this is like, I mean, baseball this is classic baseball. We have Shohei Ohtani, we have Ronald Acuna Jr., we have all the juniors, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Tatis Jr., and we're talking about sticky shit.
I would say most people just don't understand. So I would say a lot of people play baseball. You felt the little league ball, you felt the high school ball, even a college ball. You can grip that thing. Minor league balls even too. But if you've ever caught a major league baseball or held a major league baseball, it is a perfectly round sphere, and those seams are not raised off the ball at all. And so all of a sudden, when you get to the big leagues and guys start destroying the baseball 480 feet, part of it's because the ball is so perfectly round, along with all their other equipment that's so much better than everyone else's. But it's impossible to grip. You get a grip on the seam, you know better than I do. And if you can't get a grip on the seam, you need to grip some other way to be able to control the baseball. So that's basically my understanding of why pitchers, for the most part, are using this stuff. I know a lot of them are using it for spin rate. I don't know if you want to get into all of that, but literally it's just so hard to grip this perfectly dry, dusty sphere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The seams are part of the ball. They don't come out at all. In the minor leagues, they come out a tiny bit. In college, I know our freshman year, they were super high seamed, almost to a point where that sucked. But like, it's
Listeners,
got to be some sort of balance in between there. When you have that, yeah, it's completely hard to grip. But this problem, if they were going to crack down on it, my fucking hell, like, come down on it years ago when everyone still knew about it. And because nowadays, like, this is the thing, you hear the term spider track, Pelican grip. Half these guys are cooking up their own method, almost like you're making crack, your own fucking meth lab of
you know about that a lot.
whatever sticky stuff that you have. So it's like, you ask a guy, it's like, oh, I use KY jelly lube and fucking rosin with sunscreen, and then put a little bit of sriracha on there to make it smell different. I don't know. It's all, everyone uses some sort of different method to get them to have a grip on the ball. So that in and of itself is hard to police. Plus the fact that just everyone in baseball is doing it. Like, there's no other, like, and for the most part, like I tried sunscreen and rosin one time. It's different for everyone. Like that's why all these guys are using all this different shit. I tweeted out, I tried sunscreen and rosin one time. I think I put too much on. I had no idea what I was doing. So I think I put too much on and it was on my forearm, the sunscreen and rosin. You could very much see it. Like I could easily have gotten caught and Michael Pineda just ejected from the game.
And that's the one that comes to mind too, is a Michael Pineda ejection.
He kept just putting it on his neck.
Yeah.
But it was on there for days and my hands were so sticky. It was like, this isn't even comfortable. But like, that's what some guys, these are Major League Baseball players. They're competing at the highest level. Like, they're going to do, and cheating, if you want to call it cheating, whatever, competitive edgeness has been the modus operandi of baseball throughout all the years. The old fuck that is like saying how much of a disgrace to the game this is, bro, your favorite player was probably doing so much worse shit, and he was
He was
probably
hucking loogies on the ball.
and he's probably a horrible human being. So like, shut up. Like honestly, just shut up. This is part of the game.
Yeah, I guess that's the one thing that's hard, is like when you look at the era of like of all these, like, different what's gone on of baseball, it sucks because everyone looks back on it and is like, oh, that was the steroid era, or that was the, video camera a couple seasons or whatever. Or this is the
Video camera era.
I don't know what to call it. I mean, but there was a couple seasons and they're coming out with more stuff too about it. But and now this is like, the season of, eliminating all the pine tar stuff. And it's like, all right, you're gonna take guys out of the hall and you're gonna punish guys and all this stuff when it's like everyone was doing it and that's part of the game at that time, So I don't know. I don't really know what my opinion is on the whole. It's complicated. There's a bunch of different things that are going on with the sticky stuff, but
I don't think you need to take a side.
I didn't really care before. Baseball seemed to be doing just fine. And now they just blew up into something where pitchers are going to get hurt, batters are going to get hurt. I don't know what they really want from this game, like what they're hoping to get from this. That batting average goes up 15 points. I don't know. So
that's one of the notes that I have on here before we get into previewing the next wave of cheating in baseball. What if a team, like what if we just start seeing football scores like 31-24, just 10 home runs a game, pitchers just start sucking? Do we bring back the sticky stuff, or do you?
No, they're going to say raise the seams. They're going to make them use minor league balls, and then the guys are going to get blisters on their fingers from using the minor league balls, and they're going to have a whole new problem. I guarantee you that's what they do. They're not going to say, oh yeah, go ahead and go back to the sticky stuff you were using. This is stupid. They didn't need to do this.
They could have done this in the off season. It would have been perfectly fine doing it in the off season.
That was a good point that Glass now made. He's like, look, you're making me make an adjustment that I'm not ready to make in 5 days. Sure enough, squeezes the hell out of the baseball and blows out his elbow, where he's like, look, if you gave me a whole offseason to work with this and know that this is coming to play, maybe I can deal with this a little better. So I completely agree with you there.
I think that's not a surprise, though, that baseball fucked this up. They fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Do you have any other? Could you imagine, though, if a team just decided to zag? It's all right, we're going to get a bunch of poo slingers. We're going to get guys that throw 65. And just like, it's almost like the dynamic, how nerds are kind of sort of becoming popular now, a la 21 Jump Street, where, organized sports are so fascist, it makes me sick. Like nerds are kind of in now. What if that's kind of the shift that we see in baseball? It's like, oh, the poo slingers were kind of the nerds. And now these, guys that throw 65, they're the big dicks on campus.
I don't know. I mean, the whole wave of baseball, these guys, everyone just throwing gas and everything being unhittable. Like, it sucks for hitters, but it's kind of awesome. And it's kind of a clear path to, if you want to be a good pitcher, you better throw 100 miles an hour and you better throw your off-speed pitches 90 miles an hour. So realistically, probably not. I think that'd be hilarious. I think this will, I don't know. If I was like a GM or a manager, I'd say, hey, let's deal with this for a few weeks. But when this cools down, go back and do whatever you want. If you get suspended, like, whatever. They're not going to they're not just going to start suspending, everybody for tens of games and keep paying everyone their MLB salary. So I don't know. I think realistically that's what will happen. These guys will get back into it. Hopefully a little bit more, what's the word? Less obviously. Maybe not throwing a bunch of spider tack, the stickiest thing I've ever seen. I didn't even know about that on their hand.
I didn't even know
So
about
I don't
it.
know.
That was like just kind of becoming a thing when I was on my way out of
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, it's an interesting subject. I'll be curious to see what happens. I hope it doesn't lead to a bunch more injuries. I hope it's not related to class now, although it sure seems like it.
That's the biggest thing. Last thing here, how do you think baseball is going to evolve? Because we know, cheating is just part of the game. I have a couple notes here. Number one, catchers lather the batters boxes under the dirt with baby oil. And then we just start seeing, hitters kind of slipping and falling. And then number two, if you want to get into the technology information era, when the robot umps come, which I'm so anti-robot umps, but if or when they come, someone hacks into the robot ump system, and we just start seeing like pitch outs being called strikes, and everyone's
my
like, "What the
God.
fuck? What's going on here?" And then baseball would just flip the fuck out. That
would be absolutely hilarious if they got these robot umps, and even if they did it on purpose, be like, hey, you're gonna make a bad call one every like 90 pitches or something. You'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? That robot ump just fucked up.
They're like screaming at the robot ump, like Aaron Boone.
Someone's beating up the robot ump with their bat.
Yeah.
Okay, so how could God? I thought you were gonna kind of go a little more serious with your cheating things.
Corked bat.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I would say like the next thing that hasn't been tampered with in a while sure seems like the bats. Like there's got to be some way to tamper with the bats. God, what else could you do?
There's so many ways you could find.
I mean, on a more serious note, you see catchers sometimes put sticky stuff on their equipment to then put sticky stuff on the ball to give to the pitchers.
They do that all the time too.
Yeah. Right. So I could easily see pitchers being like, all right, we're not going to have any stuff on our bills or belts or forearms or whatever, or necks, Michael Pineda. But I mean, I've seen Yadier Molina just walk to the on deck circle and just scrub his shin guard with pine tar and just
all the time,
just blatantly do it. And I'm like, I think catchers will probably just do that too. So that's probably
they're getting examined though too.
Oh my God.
That'd be like first this whole concept is just so funny. Like it's like we're putting them through airport security. It's awesome, but it sucks. It's sad.
It'd be so funny if they stop like letting. I saw Dallas Braden talked about this earlier, that if they stop letting batters use like sticky stuff to hold their bats, and batters just started like
flinging the bats,
throwing their bats. I mean, if you ever tried to swing a smooth wood baseball bat, you need some sort of grip, or if you've ever played summer ball in a humid place, that basically nothing can get you to hang on to that bat. So it'd be pretty hilarious to just force guys to swing a smooth piece of wood, just bats launching everywhere.
That would be,
oh my God.
It would grow the game, honestly.
Honestly,
any of this stuff is, I don't know if this is honestly growing the game actually, because it's taken away from what we have, but who knows? Honestly, baseball is just a fucking mess. Any other thoughts there?
No, that's all I got. I thought that was a good decompression.
Yeah, great decompression. Went a little long. Actually, no, I think we were like right around an hour.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, right around an hour. Par for the course with us. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, but wherever you get your podcasts, OGV. It's now available. Also, still going to be on YouTube. Follow us on the Instagram page. Instagram page I'm posting like one thing a day. The Instagram page is doing pretty well.
You're getting a lot of good feedback. You're getting a lot of likes. I'm seeing a lot of people that I recognize, your friends and my friends that are liking it. So I think the Instagram page is a big hit. I think you should keep that up.
Oh, 1,000,000% we'll keep it up. So follow us at OGV_golf, and then follow me on Instagram at Razo3.
My Instagram at Alex E. Aguirre. I think that might be in the OGV.
It is. It's in the bio.
Yeah, it might be easier.
I also put HQ headquarters for those that don't know. HQ is in Scottsdale. When you move out here, we get like an office space to like actually put a studio and record. That'll be the HQ.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.